Yes, yes, yes. You're in the building live. Lamont and Larry, the Avengers of life gains and current culture. It's me. It's that living legend with that hot ass, fresh ass, dope ass t shirt on. It's Larry. What's up, my brother?
Oh man, I'm here, man. I'm Biden for president all day. So, you
Ah,
know, for those of you who don't know, there is a debate tomorrow. It starts, I think, at 9 o'clock or something like that, Eastern time. So check it out. It should be I don't know. It should be crazy. I don't know if anybody I'm not even sure how relevant these debates are gonna be because I feel like everybody's made their mind up. But they are gonna be on tomorrow. They should be entertaining at the very least.
yeah, it should be entertaining, especially considering the revelations that have come out about Trump's tax returns, which we all knew there was a reason he was hiding it. And me and you have pontificated about why he was hiding it. And
Yeah.
again, we was right. I mean, if people were to listen to us 24/7, Larry, life would be a whole lot better. Life would be a
Yeah.
whole lot better. And we're not here to talk about the election. We'll do that Wednesday. We will do some debate recap Wednesday because I've got a Trump behind I need to get into. But today is all about power because I dropped the ball on Larry. I didn't get a chance to watch Lovecraft Country's episode this week. So
Right.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is all power. It's all your theories. It's everything you could want to hear about power. And so I'm gonna give the ball to Larry first, but let me summarize what happened in this episode 4. But before I do that, shouts out to everybody. And I do mean everybody that is in here rocking with us tonight. It's because of you all we're able to keep coming up here 3 nights a week, bringing content. That dude, VKC, Cash Money, Cleveland, the positive pusher, love that name. That dude, 1020, 21, like he's got some kind of a tax issue going on. Jay Supreme, Support Gaming, Mark Guy, my guy, hit me up on Instagram. Danny Girl, Buzz703, who always super chats this channel, Charles Coley,
703.
Miss Chris, the sis, Alexis Heron. And I'm not talking about the drug. We appreciate you all being in here. And to anybody else watching who is not popping up in the comment section, shouts out to you too. Okay,
703.
703. So, ladies and gentlemen, me and Larry make predictions. We make good predictions, and then we allow Larry to go do wild speculation. Now, when
Except
we
it's
do,
never wild. It always comes out to be true.
man, me and Larry both said after episode 1, Drew and his daddy are gay or bisexual. We both said that.
Yep.
And we really confirmed Drew part last week. It came out this week. This last episode, I entitled my review, Everybody Having Sex on This Episode. Everybody getting a turn like a damn doorknob. You had
Everybody getting it in.
everybody was getting it in, man. But the essence of the story, the nuts and bolts of the story, the peak, what they wanted you to find. I said in my review yesterday, the title of the story was The Prince. They was trying to turn Tariq into the Fresh Prince of this college he's at. And in doing so, they're converting him to the new ghost. And they allowed us to see Tariq put chess pieces in place. Tariq went and found a gun from where Tommy and Ghost hid a gun in one of the washerettes. Tariq started building his pipeline with Simon Stern's husband, who I'm telling you, he's probably going to be collateral damage because he's too flamboyant. He's too into this
He's
thing.
going out. He's
Yeah,
going
man,
out. I think Simon Stern's going to take him out.
Yeah, he's way too happy to be involved. He's even more enthusiastic about it than Braden is. So
Yeah.
all the whole episode was about Tariq putting pieces in place and turning into the new ghost. I turn it over to you, Larry. Give me your impressions of Power Book 2, Episode 4.
Yeah, I called it. I told you dude was gonna be gay, and he is. And it's just one of those things. I think the title Prince, yeah, I think they had that as far as with Tariq, but I also think that it was also Prince as far as who is the next in line in the Tejada family business, because you have Kane, who obviously wants to do more, and he's always talking with his mom about it, talking about you didn't talk to me first, and blah blah blah, and he's feeling like some sort of way. He's feeling like I am, co-leader of this organization, not realizing that he's not, and she had to check him, and then he's getting upset with the fact that she sent Drew over there to speak to the one dudes a few weeks ago. Then he sent him up over to Tariq's campus to go check him out and see what he's up to. I feel like Kane is getting real salty, and I think there's going to be a power struggle eventually between Drew and Kane, and who's going to end up coming out on top, who's going to be the prince that's going to become king, when it comes time to step into that role. So I don't know. It was an interesting title. It was an interesting episode. I saw, I saw some things I knew was going to happen. We knew that that Tariq was going to hook up with both those girls. It was just crazy funny that dude showed up like at that dinner, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, first of all, you don't have a chance in hell, homie. I was like, that dude is a straight cornball. And don't get me wrong.
Wait a minute.
I'm corny at times. That dude took corny to a whole new level.
Wait, so you mean to tell me, Larry, that if this was Stephen Urkel that walked to the door, there's no way in hell homeboy could have turned into Stefan?
That dude, man, that dude was corn. That dude was like corn nuts corny. That dude was hot dog on a stick corny. That dude was just, man.
I mean,
I'm telling you, he was corny than my corny jokes.
Bro, I love, and when I say I love the corn on the cob you can get from the state fair. But it don't even look like his ass has been anywhere near a state fair. If anything,
man,
I completely see them setting up a dynamic where you have those kind of brothers like him versus the Tariq brothers. And it's an interesting dynamic because on one hand, you have this dude who's on a good track going to college. And then you got this guy who's like kind of, I can't even really say Tariq's a thug because he's not, but he's got street acumen and he's doing illegal things. And as always, you have these good brothers over here complaining about them dudes getting all the girls. That is a dynamic they're setting up. Which way is Lauren going to go? We've already found out last night. She kissed Tariq last night.
Yeah, we know where she's going with it. And here's the thing. She may try and play like after the dude's back and she gets a little dose of her boyfriend, she might be like, oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Let's just be friends. But all it's going to take is for Diana to show up on campus for a hot moment and for her to see him, Tariq and Diana together, that she's going to be all kinds of jealous. And she's going to be like, screw this other dude. She's going to put him in the back of her mind and get right back to business.
Well, Larry, I did a trailer review for episode 5, and Diana shows up at a party. And guess who shows up and looks Tariq dead in the face while he's with Diana? Lauren. And guess who Tariq walks away with?
I'm imagining Diana.
Lauren.
What?
And left Diana standing there staring. See, they are turning Reek into Ghost, whether you people want to like it or not. Some people got in my comment section saying that they don't like us comparing last season to this season because it's a new story. It's not per se a new story. It's a new story arc with new cast members, but they are trying to push the Ghost narrative through Tariq. And Tariq knows good and damn well that Diana possibly is nothing but a plant to get at him and what he's doing with his organization. So he's probably going to milk her to really find out where her allegiance lie. And I can't wait to see what happens when he walks away with Lauren and leaves Diana standing there looking very desperate.
Right. Hey, hold on a quick sec, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. And I know y'all want us to talk about the Drew gay scene. What is there really to talk about? We've seen it coming. Courtney Kemp says she's trying to be more inclusive with the LGBT community. The only thing is, it was a matter of how was she going to present it. And I think she done what she needed to do to present it. And we picked up on this last week about the softness in Drew. And we know that the daddy knows Drew is soft, but the daddy also wants Drew to be the one to take the leadership position, which might highlight the fact that the dad is bisexual in jail. And
you think the dad's getting it in jail?
Larry, look, don't let nobody fool you. When somebody gets a life sentence, I read a statistic that says over half of the men that get a life sentence wind up doing homosexual acts in jail. And if for whatever the reason they get out of jail, they come out and say they're not gay. And they go back to straight women. It's not like when you go to jail. It's not like when you go to jail, you lose the urge to want to screw and you get tired of handball by yourself. So I can easily see that being a storyline too. But I guess we'll see in the coming weeks. How did you feel?
The only reason why I can't go with you on that is we've already seen Tejada with a conjugal visit with his wife. So I'm thinking like there's no need for him in the way that he seems like he's running stuff in that prison. It seems like he's got the conjugals. It seems like he's got some guards working for him. It seems like it's not that big of a deal if he really wants some sex. He just goes and gets a woman. Either has his wife come through, or maybe he has one of the guards sneak somebody in. I mean, I've heard stories about in some of these jails where you have some of these dudes that have the guards sneaking in strippers and they're having parties and they're bringing it. They have, dudes that are hiring prostitutes in the jails. I can't imagine that Tejada is as much juice as he seems to have in there. Can't get a little ass,
Well, we're gonna find out very soon. Y'all told me I was wrong on Drew, but hey, when you need a legit theory, a theory based in the facts that they give us in the show, this is definitely your channel. Now we'll come back to Drew and him rubbing on the dude's Kobe Bryant tattoo and all that, but
come on, man. Don't disrespect Kobe like that.
He loves Kobe. What? He loves Kobe. What's wrong with that?
What? Don't disrespect Kobe like that.
Wait a minute, man. Donald Trump, right-hand man, had a tattoo of Richard Nixon's face on his back.
Yeah, Richard Nixon was nothing to be. Richard Nixon wasn't an honorable man. I have nothing to say about what they do with Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was a criminal who had to leave the presidency because he was going to get impeached. I mean, the fact of the matter is that Kobe Bryant is dead and gone, and they don't need to use his name and his prestige and his standing in the community to promote some agenda.
Larry, can I remind you of something, Larry? When did Kobe Bryant die?
He died earlier this year.
When do you think this was filmed?
I'm sure they probably filmed it before, but I don't know. I'm not sure they did. They probably wrote this before, but they could have very easily have added that in maybe as some sort of tribute or something. But I think they could have just had the dude wear a jersey or something. I don't know. I just don't like it. I didn't like it. I thought it felt disrespectful.
It didn't seem
here's the thing.
To me. If it's disrespectful, you're basically saying that a gay person can't memorialize or tattoo someone that they really like on their body, and I completely disagree with that.
No, I'm not saying that. When I'm like, if Kobe had been gay, then I would say, okay, that's fine. But it really felt like they were using his name and his number for some sort of agenda, and I just don't agree with that. I don't say there's anything wrong with the dude being gay. I don't think there was anything wrong with that scene, except for the fact that I felt like they used the name, the number, in the standing of this person who recently passed for some sort of agenda. I don't like that.
Oh,
And it wasn't Kobe Bryant was not gay. Kobe Bryant was a family man. Maybe he was okay with gay people. Maybe he was a supporter of gay rights. I don't know. I have no idea. But I would have been okay if they had used the number of if they wanted to promote some sort of gay agenda, which is fine. We all have agendas that we want to push. I'm a black man. I want to push the fact that Black lives matter and are equal and should be supported and protected. You know, I have a black wife. I want to promote the agenda that Black women matter and Black women should be protected. But if they would have chosen the number of an athlete that was gay, or if they would have found some other way, if the dude had a rainbow flag on him or something, that would have been cool. I just didn't like the way they used Kobe Bryant in that time.
So would it have been better for you if Kobe was still alive?
If Kobe was still alive and they decided that they talked to Kobe about it and Kobe was like, yeah, that's cool to go for it, then yeah, I'd have been fine with it. But I don't like the fact that they did that with somebody who's dead.
For all we know, they could have talked to Kobe last year before they died when they filmed it.
Right. But since we don't know, I'm not happy about it.
Well, I guess I'll dig up his wife's profile or whatever and see how she feels about it. But I know that his wife is huge in supporting the LGBTQ community. So maybe that's what it was. But if somebody had tattooed a Kobe Bryant's number on top of a Confederate flag, and it was a white dude saying, "Oh yeah, I want to be the best. I want to be the best basketball player since that nigga Kobe." Should we have been okay with that? And he's promoting an agenda. Should we have been okay with that too? But you can't mix. You're trying to mix one group of people who are trying to fight for equality with a group of people who are trying to take away equality. So
I agree. They're two different things. I agree. They're two different things, but they're both agendas.
Mix those two. Period. So I don't even understand how you try to rationalize that argument when one is on one extreme and the other one is on the other. My first analogy to you was, if I'm gay, am I wrong for tattooing somebody I admire on my chest, like Martin Luther King? What's wrong with that?
It wasn't the fact that a gay dude had it tattooed on his chest. It was the way the filmmakers used that in that scene as some sort of propaganda. I didn't like that. It wasn't the fact. It wasn't the fact that the tattoo was on a gay guy. I don't care what tattoo was on a gay dude. It was the way they used that tattoo in that moment. It just felt disrespectful.
I didn't see nothing wrong with it. And someone in the community, if it's flying over my head, please let me know. But I'm gonna move on beyond that. What do you think about Tariq's? What do you think about the way Tariq has set up this organization? Do you think it's a stroke of genius?
I want to say thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Steve's with me. So there we go.
I'm sure he is, but you know what? There's a big old poster in my room where there's one black dude carrying the whole world with a chain on his back, and that's me, like Tupac. So I can stand alone.
Oh, Precious Cargo trying to say I'm a little soft and sensitive. Okay. All right. I get you.
So in essence, she's with me. You know.
Okay.
But in any event,
I don't understand how that makes me. I don't understand how someone would try and say that makes me wrong or soft or sensitive or homophobic or anything else, because I felt like the way they used this man's number and his and in a sense his likeness in a way that I felt was disrespectful. They used it in a sexual way. And this was a man who was dead, who was a family man that was married, and they used it in a sexual way. It wasn't just that they tattooed his number on him. If they just left it at that, but they went way beyond that. And so, no, you can say what you want about me. What they did with Kobe's number, that was disrespectful. All the drawing around it. What would you do with all this? Don't play with Kobe's image like that. That man's dead and he was a married man. Don't play with him like that in a sexual way. That's not cool.
That's his opinion. If two people, whether they're heterosexual, homosexual, it doesn't give a damn. If you guys think someone is the stuff, like Kobe, like Serena, and you've got Serena's number or Serena's shoes tattooed on your body, and you mention her name while y'all about to screw because y'all both like her, I don't see a problem with that. Period. It is no different. No different whether it's tattooed. It's no different whether it's tattooed on man, woman, boy, girl, whoever. If you like the person, I don't see the problem with it.
It's not about the sexuality of them. It's not about the fact that it was the person was gay. It was the fact that they used it in a disrespectful sexual manner.
How? Explain to me what was disrespectful sexually, the act that they did that was disrespectful sexually.
I'm not talking about their act sexually between them two people as men, consenting males. I don't care about that. What I don't like is they had this thing tattooed on them, and then they're up there doing all of this sexual stuff around the tattoo, drawing around it. What would you do? And all the touching on it. It seemed very disrespectful to Kobe's image, and it just seemed like, I mean, this is a man who had a wife, who had kids. It was a family man, was a happily married man, and they basically took an image of him and sexualized it with somebody else besides his wife. And that is disrespectful. They should have just left Kobe's name up out of there, or they should have just, when he took his shirt off, they should have said, what's the 24 mean? He should have just said, it's Kobe's number. I hope to be as great as him. Move on. That's it. You don't need to draw around there and say, oh, what would you do with it? And blah. No, you don't need any of that. Just it was disrespectful. I would have felt the same way if they had tattoos too. If it was a woman and they had a tattoo on a woman.
You said it wasn't about the act. You just went in there and said you didn't like them drawing their fingers and shit on the 24. So it is about the disrespectful act for you. As you just said, it wasn't, but you just said,
but I'm not talking about but you made it seem as if I had a problem with them being gay and being in a same-sex intimate situation. I don't care about the two men being together. I don't care about the homosexual act. I have a problem with them sexualizing Kobe Bryant after his death. I have a problem with that.
But here's the problem. You don't know if this was recorded before then or now, and you don't know if Kobe consented to it.
Okay, I don't know if Kobe consented to it, and I guess I have a problem with it. Even if he's alive, don't sexualize the image of a married man. It's not cool. Find your own reasons to find your own sexual things to do. I don't know. Find something else. And as far as the whole gay thing, yeah, if you were trying to push some sort of gay agenda and you wanted to have, to talk about gay athletes that you can emulate in your future, then fine, if you want to do that. But that's not what they were aiming for. They were just talking about one basketball player trying to be like another basketball player. And I would have been fine if they would have left it at that. But they didn't. They went from that and they sexualized it, and I have a problem with that.
Well, I don't. And I still don't understand. Even though you said all that, I still don't get it. So we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that point. Talk about Tariq's organization using technology to fulfill his deeds.
Yeah, well, can I speak about something else before we get to the technology part?
Yeah, go for it.
I actually found probably more interesting than the technology. I found it really interesting how Tariq chose to test Braden. And Braden didn't even realize he was being tested. You know, it was just, he went over there and set Braden up to get into a fight. And Braden got with it. He got busy with it. Dude did not back down, nothing. He just went straight in with dude and got with him.
Now, when that scene happened, there were a whole lot of things going on with that scene. First of all, you saw how Braden pointed out to Tariq the competition. He pointed to him upstairs, right? And Tariq cold dissed Riley, which you're supposed to do when someone ran up on you, trying to get information, in essence, what she was doing. Do you think Tariq set that fight up to just really see how tough Braden was? Or do you think Reek knew in the back of his mind that he was going to manipulate white privilege because of who Braden's family members are and their association with the college?
I think it was all of that. I think it was multi-pronged. I think one, he was trying to get rid of his competition. And he knew Braden wasn't getting put out of school. So he was trying to get rid of his competition, which he did successfully. And at the same time, I think he wanted to test Braden still and see, can I depend on him if it comes down to where we have to get dirty, where we're going to have to throw some blows. Maybe we have to put some holes in people. I think he really wanted to test Braden's mettle and see where he was at. And, and I think he got to see it. We saw him up there on the stairs with his smile, his little smirk, kind of pleased, like, yeah, that's my dude. And he's watching him go for it and get it in, So I think he killed multiple birds with that one stone. He was able to for one, to get rid of his competition. Two, he was able to see if Braden had the nuts to fight. And three, he was really able to let the rest of the people in there know and establish sort of a sense of dominance to say, this is our shit. This is us. And this is what will happen to you if you come and mess with our shit. So I mean, he really, in that one act, he really did do a lot,
So now what's going to become of the new Tommy and Holly with Braden and Riley? This is really, Larry, a revisiting of power. Yeah. You got Ghost on the outside being Tariq, and you got Braden stuck with this girl who we don't know where her allegiance lie, other than the fact that she likes her drugs. We know she likes drugs. Does that drug love take precedence over what Cooper Saxe has her doing?
I don't know. That's hard because, I mean, Cooper Saxe is family. So it's one thing when it's just some random person. But when you start talking about family, it's hard to turn your back on family sometimes, even when, I don't know. I think her allegiance is going to end up still being towards Saxe. I think the problem is with Saxe is he might mess around and get his niece killed. Yeah. Because even though Braden might not do it, I mean, it might turn out one of those things because it seems to me, like you said, it seems like they're just rehashing Power, but with Tariq and Braden in a younger audience in a different setting. Seems like all the basic storylines are doing the same thing. And so if it ends up in a situation where Riley is put the whole organization at risk, Tariq might just go to him and say, look, you know what you need to do. He may not tell me what to do. He's like, what needs to happen. And Braden might make his bones on her. So
my folk, AJ Young, wants me to make a death prediction for this season. And Larry, we've made some death predictions already, Larry. We've made some death predictions early. And I kind of want to wait to the next episode before they take the break to see if they introduce anybody else. But I can go ahead and tell you off the rip. Professor Jabari, he's going to die. I can just tell you that off the rip. If I had to put money on everybody that's involved in this story right now that's going to kick the bucket, Jabari is kicking the bucket this year, possibly. I just can't see them killing Riley this early because there's so much meat to that story. But Larry, who do you see kicking the bucket by the end of this season?
Yeah, I think that we could potentially see Jabari going out. I think we're probably going to see we're probably going to see Riley get taken out. I think she's going to mess around. I think they're going to play her in the same way they did Holly.
Oh my God.
And
man,
I think that's going to happen.
Trisha C said, God, man, y'all be bugging in the comments section. Trisha C said, Drew gonna die from the STD he got last night, but Trisha C, he ain't getting none. His mama called him. And in essence, the dude called him a mama's boy, as if he got experience knowing what being a mama's boy is all about. But
no, I thought he got it in afterward. I thought after he got off the phone, I thought he got it in.
Did they? I don't know. Maybe I missed that part.
Because the next time they showed him, he was at home taking a shower. I'm thinking you don't really need to take a shower if you didn't get it in.
Well, you know, he did go before they cut to that scene. If you recall, Diana had to show up at campus to give Tariq the drugs and he popped in the room looking at them as if, what y'all doing in here?
Right.
But Larry, in the family, in the Tejada family, if somebody's going to kick the bucket this year, who's it going to be? To me, I think the easiest choice would be Drew, which makes me say I can't pick Drew. Maybe Diana. Even though I don't want that to happen, maybe Diana.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think they're taking anybody out from the Tejada family
this year. Not this season.
Because they're not taking Drew out. Drew's a gay dude that has his storyline now of being gay. Plus, they have the whole thing about, is he soft enough, or can he actually make it and run the family? Diana's got this whole relationship that they're developing with Tariq. There's not enough episodes left to really get that cracking enough. They're going to make that. It's going to come to some crescendo. I would not be surprised if by the end of the episode, the end of the season, Tariq has slept with both of them, and both of them now are basically, sort of fighting over Tariq, just not realizing it,
Right. Which is why
Monet's there for the long haul. Tejada, they haven't done enough with him yet. He's going to be around. We're going to see him
out of jail.
He'll probably get out of jail maybe like the second, third season.
He's getting out of jail. Larry, he's getting out of jail. But
it's not going to be quick though. I think he's going to have to. I think we're going to have to wait 2 or 3 seasons to see him out. Like I think we might get Tasha out, and then maybe the next season we'll get Tejada out.
We might also see Stefan Maurice, Lauren's boyfriend, die this season. Possibly? Or is it too early?
I think he's going to go there. He's going to spend a little time, then he's going to go back to school because he's in school too. So I think they just flew him in. He'll go back, and that'll be that.
But why do we need 2 professors? Why do we need 2 professors, Larry? We don't need 2 professors.
Well, it's a college, it's a university, so we can have 2 professors. It's all right.
Oh no.
My part is I'm not really sure who's going to kill Jabari. I understand what you're saying, that he could get killed, but I'm not sure who's going to kill him and why.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might see. So Glenn on here in the comments said he can see Zeke getting killed. I can see that. I can see, for instance, how pissed off, like how what's his name that just got the beat down of his life. What's her name said can't beat the brakes off of him.
Yeah,
I can see that crew being so pissed off. One, that they cut their supply. They just cut them off, so they have no money. They're starving. Right. They're hungry, and they know that everybody probably knows that Monet is putting all of her hopes and dreams in Zeke to become a ball player. So if they know that Zeke is the one that she has her hopes and dreams on, that's the one that you go and target. And whether they kill him or just shoot him and injure him or something, I can very much see that Zeke is end up being the one that gets taken out. And then, or it could be, because we know Tariq has a gun on him. It could be that they go after Zeke, and Tariq ends up happening to be there and ends up saving Zeke. It could be that he ends up saving Zeke, and now Monet and all of them are sort of indebted to him. And just before, how they felt like, we can't trust him, you need to watch him, everybody ends up in debt or in jail around Tariq. And now all of a sudden he flipped the script where he ended up saving their prize cow. So
now at one point, it
can go a lot of different ways.
At one point in time, we was also saying Zeke might get killed too.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? They're saying in the comments, what reason would you have to kill Jabari? I'll tell you the reason. What happens if one of those parents finds out that Jabari is sleeping with their child who is one of his students?
Yeah, but they're not children. These are grad students. These are people that are in their 20s.
Don't matter.
These are grown.
It's still somebody's baby.
Yeah, but you're not going to get mad. You're not going to get mad when, you might be a little frustrated. But I'll be honest with you. If someone slept with my teenage daughter or son when they're in high school, then yeah, I'm a little frustrated. I'm pissed off. But if my son or my daughter is a graduate student and they're 22, 23, 24 years old and they sleep with one of their professors, I'm probably more mad at my own child than I am at the professor. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you have a professor that's 50-some years old, 60 years old, whatever, 40, and here's this young hot co-ed, and they're offering him the booty. Yeah, they're going to smash. That's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking to myself, it's your responsibility as a grown-up, as an adult that already has a college degree to know better, that you don't go sleeping with your professors, you know? So I don't see... I guess I don't see someone's parent getting mad for that. Okay. I mean, when I think about Jabari, I just have a hard time thinking about him being alive. I mean, dead. The only reason why I would think somebody might want to kill him is Professor Megram if she gets so bent out of shape that she wants to kill him. But that just doesn't seem part of her nature.
Or why don't we take Trisha C's? I'm going to take part of Trisha C's storyline. Okay. It seems like a lot of what Jabari does is to affect Professor Megram, make her jealous. What if one of the students he's sleeping with realizes that that's what he's doing, and the student comes back to kill Jabari because he's just trying to make the student he's just trying to make Professor Megram jealous, and he's sleeping around with the students, using the students in essence.
I think you're stretching it at this point to I think you're stretching it for your theory. I don't think that's. I mean, not to say that it couldn't happen because people do get jealous. You could have a grad student that gets obsessed with them and turns out to be some fatally attracted type person, but we haven't seen any evidence of that. I feel like the writers would have let us in on a little bit of that because at this point,
have you noticed? I'm not getting rid of Professor Megram. She's not in any of my death scenarios.
I hear you, but I just feel like Professor Megram still needs to hook up with Tariq first.
Oh my Lord, God.
You know, I mean, for all we know, there might be a threesome between Professor Megram, Tariq, and Braden. She might pop by the apartment to speak to Tariq, and Braden might be up in there, and all of a sudden it's cracking between the three of them. There might be what do they call that? What kind of threesome? I forgot. There's a weird name for it, but.
Yeah. Well. Now, Larry, we scratched the surface. We've kind of been eating around the cookie, with
that
different
real
parts.
Provocative, man. That just sounds real provocative. Eating around the cookie.
Well, I mean, hell, if y'all want to know how I eat cookies, I like to eat the edges of the cookie and then break the soft middle into 4 pieces and then eat it. Take my time, let it get real moist. That's how I like my cookies.
See, Larry, man, I'm not saying anything else.
I'm talking about a sugar cookie, man.
I'm sure you are.
That's all I'm talking about.
I'm sure there's all kinds of sugar in that cookie.
Yeah, man, that's all I'm talking about. Or better yet, chocolate chip cookie. That make you feel better.
There you go. With some brown sugar in it.
No, I don't need that. How do
you make fresh chocolate chip cookies without brown sugar?
I like chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chip. Put it that way.
That's you just like cookies.
I just like the cookie, man. But before this slipped my mind, we cannot have this live review. And shouts out to all 300 of y'all that's in here. This is almost back to 300. This is almost back to last year, Larry, when we hit 400. That was our highest number last year.
I like it.
We cannot forget about Meth McLean. That's my nickname for him. Meth McLean. Meth McLean. Him and his dealings with his investigator, Paula, and what we learned about him yesterday as he was giving her the 2-bit hookup in the bedroom and the ring finger, and she was getting buzz from Simon Stern's lover, the wire money. Talk a little bit about what's going to go on with McLean, Cooper Sachs, Paula. That's a story all to itself. Oh, and I appreciate that, Steve. I appreciate you, Steve.
Man, why did I think Paula was about to roll up in the room with Tariq? The way she was looking at him, I was like, man, I was like, is Tariq about to smash another? Is Tariq about to be the man of the joint?
She was busy looking in his bag because she saw that gun that he got from the washerette.
Yeah, but before she saw the gun, she was looking at him like he was, like he was a biscuit with gravy or something. I was
Man,
like,
oh my God, Lord, this guy. Look,
and
man,
that sex scene with her and Meth, that sex scene where the thing buzzed. I've never. I mean, that was just so fake, man. Just put it. If you don't want to show your boobs, just put a bra on. Just put the covers over you. Who's ever had sex and the whole time they're just holding their boobs like this? Just the
now,
whole time. I mean, come on, man. That was just dumb.
now, Larry, I did the review with my wife, and I mentioned exactly what you said, and she tried to defend it. And there's no defending
Man,
it. When you sign up for power, you know what you're signing up for.
you know you're gonna have to show what you got. You're gonna have to get it in and show what you got. And if you don't want to, just put a bra on. Go get you a nice lacy bra, something that looks sexy, and then just do what you're gonna do. But this whole, I mean, they had her from like 9 different angles. Oh, hold on, let me change it this way. Oh, hold on, let me get it this way.
Now let me say this, Larry.
Wearing a hand bra. It was dumb. It was just dumb.
Ava or Avia with an accent French on her name says, "Y'all really want Tariq to smash everybody?" No, I do not.
We don't want to see Tariq smash anybody.
No, we don't. He ain't even 18 on the show yet. No. I do not want to see him and Professor Megram. I do not want to see him and Diana. I do not want to see him and Lauren. And I do not want to see him and Paula. I don't want Reek in none of these sexual quadrangles he's in. No.
The only person I want to see Tariq smash just for the sake of him smashing is Monet.
Oh my Lord. You know what? You know what? I'm about to make Larry very upset because what happens if his favorite woman in the history of power returns and Tariq smashes her? Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
Oh man, are you talking about Ramona?
Ramona put it on you. If she come back and smash Tariq, Larry might stop watching the show.
No, I'll tell you, if Tariq smashes Ramona, I will then like Tariq. I will have to say at that point, damn, I was wrong. This brother has some serious game, and bow down to Tariq. I might have to just go ahead and start liking the brother. Man, I'm just saying, because if he can pull Ramona, good for you.
Man.
Good on you.
Man, y'all get me so off mission. Lord, where was we at before y'all took me all 1,100 different ways, man. I'm gonna have to start all over again. Lord, where was we was talking about.
I'm just saying. Don't hate it. I mean, if Ramona shows up and she's like, you know what? The father had the right idea, but the son is where it's at. I don't want to see it. But if that's where she's going to go, I trust Ramona's political strategy. I trust her as a strategist, and she has a plan.
Okay, well, since you said that, you've got me back on course a little bit. I'm going to come back to the Meth McLean thing. Since he mentioned politics, can we not talk about the performance my boy Short Man Tate put on last night? I mean, that was a political speech for the ages. He said if it had not been for what he did, the state of New York might not be on track to have such a governor serving them and their privileges and their purposes the way that only he can. Cocteau, be more careful. And y'all claim y'all don't want to see a Tate spinoff. Hell, I'm ready for that one. Larry,
you want to see Tate? This is Tate right here. You just put your head. It's like you can't even grab him. He's slippery. That dude is slimy and slippery. You can't even grab. You just hand slips right off of him. He's just slippery. That dude is so low down and slimy. That dude is terrible. Terrible.
Man, why he got to be all that, Larry? He's a politician.
Exactly.
Short Man Tate.
Yeah. He's a great politician. He's a great politician. Slimy human being.
Golly.
Slimy, slithery human being. But he is a great politician.
And so what did you think about when they put Sergeant Rodriguez next to the judge and some of the answers she was given about Cooper Sacks? And finally, Cooper Sacks done something right, and he reverse field on Sergeant Rodriguez, basically saying she co-signed and got Dre to lie in order to win.
Okay, so here's the thing. This part of the scene didn't make any sense to me because if the judge that's hearing this in her chambers is going to acknowledge that Sergeant Rodriguez did something improper, and she's going to forward this information over to her boss so that she can be investigated and potentially disciplined. If she feels that there was something wrong done with her, why is she at the same time not punishing Sachs? If it was wrong for Sergeant Rodriguez to do it, it was also wrong for Sachs to do it, and she should have pulled him off this case. I mean, I get that Rodriguez may have co-signed some of this stuff, right? But all the stuff that she heard Sachs doing, the wire plants on minors, approaching a minor child at his school without his parents and without legal representation. All the stuff that this dude did, not only should he be disbarred, he should not have his job. He should be disbarred. And even if they're not going to do any of that, at the very least, this judge should just simply say, yeah, no, we're not gonna go ahead and put you on. Like, I can't even imagine a judge would say yes, leave him on the case. Because even if the judge left him on the case, and let's say they actually secure a conviction, there's no way in hell that conviction is going to stand up because Tasha's going to have an appeal the second this day. They're just going to appeal it. Appeals court, panel's going to say, yep, we're going to grant her an appeal. And then there's going to say, well, yeah, we're going to overturn this conviction because obviously there's too much other crap going on here. This is absolutely ridiculous. We don't even know why he was on the case to begin with. And hopefully if when they overturn that and they throw it out, hopefully Tasha's attorneys will ask them to throw it out with prejudice so they can't even bring it. They can't even bring the case again. But if I was a judge, I would just simply say, no, you can't stay on the case, because if you do stay on the case, it's, all that's going to happen is if you get the conviction is that it's going to be overturned on appeal because of your relationship with Tasha and the St. Patrick's and you going after Ghost and fabricating evidence and stealing cell phones and planting evidence, approaching minors, planting illegal wiretaps and wiretaps on children. There's way too much there. There's no way in hell that dude should be on that case. There's no way in hell that dude should even be a U.S. attorney.
No, right. And I should officially call him Nancy every time I refer to Cooper Sachs. Someone got in my comment section and said everybody got a sex scene except Cooper Sachs. Who the hell is going to do something with Cooper Sachs?
Braden doesn't have one yet.
That's true. Braden ain't had one, but at least they putting somebody in line for Braden. Who's in line for Cooper Sachs? Rodriguez. He tried to get in between Rodriguez and her lover last season. Didn't work.
Right.
Are they going to give Cooper Sachs a love interest? I don't see why they would at this point. By the way,
I don't know. Maybe he'll hook up with the judge. That's one way to secure that. Hey, that is the Trump playbook right there to secure a victory. Control the judge.
Man. Don't give Nat. Yeah, so now you're gonna start calling Cooper Sachs Nancy Reagan. That's what you're gonna do. That's gonna be his new name, Nancy Reagan. He messed around with that judge. But now let's circle back to something else that we didn't talk about. Talk about the tension in that non-traditional Black dinner at Lauren's house, Larry. Talk about that. Lauren,
well, that wasn't non-traditional. That's the other side of the Black community. That's the Jack and Jill crowd. That's the whole we have money bougie crowd. That's it's not non-traditional. It's just the other tradition.
Well, you ain't let me finish what I was saying. Non-traditional.
Oh, sorry. I'm good at not letting people finish. So my bad.
Yeah, you are. Non-traditional in terms of it wasn't a Sunday dinner with soul food is what I was saying, but go ahead with your point.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of food that was. That looked
it was what Jack and Jill eat. That's exactly what they eat.
It looked like that dry chicken that you get at like a conference or a low budget wedding or something, But
yeah.
There was so much shade being thrown in that room.
Who?
It's funny because when I've enjoyed doing this at times. I've gone into some places with parents when I was younger, and they think they are just hot shit.
Yeah.
And then you go in there and you just check their monkey ass with your knowledge and your intelligence, and it's just fun. It's just fun when they think they're hot shit, and then you check them, and then they're sitting there looking like Boo Boo the Fool and having to, sort of step back and try and cover their bases. Like that woman was like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll have to read it again." It's like, yeah, maybe you should have read it the first time instead of the cliff notes,
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, I think that the whole thing, like the father was up there throwing shade. Oh, I'm following your mother's case. We've been following your mother's case closely in the news, and we were following your father's case before that. But it's like, man, shut up. Just shut up. You have a kid over to your house for dinner. He's a guest in your home. He's a guest at your table. You don't treat someone like that. That's one of those things. People get up there and they think that they're all high class, and what they realize is they have no class. When you invite someone to your table, you don't treat them like that. That is an example of someone with no class.
I agree. That's someone who think their nose is above the clouds. But something that came from that dinner, Larry, that I've been trying to wait to get to, but everybody is in here blowing up the subject. Jabari seemed to be very irritated when he mentioned to my girl, Professor Megram, yes, my girl, Professor Megram, that she had a connection. Now, huh? Yeah, she's my girl, Professor Megram. That she had
well, we know you're wishy-washy because you claimed Autumn Night, then you left her, you went to Mercedes, and you came back from Mercedes, you went back to Autumn Night. But all the whole time, I was about my Mississippi. And now I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go play Captain Save-A-Ho after the way she ended the season.
Man, back to power. That's a reference to P-Valley. And by the end, he jumped off the crooked letter. Don't let Larry fool you.
I didn't jump off. I was just disappointed.
He jumped completely off when she pulled that gun on Diamond. He was done.
How do you do that?
He was done.
How do you pull a gun? Yeah, you're right. I jumped off. My bad.
He jumped off of her.
How do you pull a gun on a brother? How do you pull a gun on a black man to save a white boy? How do you do that?
Before people think Larry is a raging racist, the storyline was the white dude was not only somewhat racist, but he was also
racist.
He was also beating said character crooked letter. So that's why
he was whooping her monkey ass. He was a racist dude that she let inside of her, and he was beating on her, and then Diamond was up there trying to save her, and then she wants to go and pull a gun on the black man. I was like, man, you don't deserve the protection. You don't deserve it.
Right. So, but getting back to Jabari,
back to power.
Yeah, Jabari flies off the deep end at Professor Megram, my girl, Professor Megram, and says something pithy about her relationship with Meth McLean. Larry, what kind of relationship? What kind of relationship do you think they had that made Jabari bring it up?
Well, we know they must have been smashing at some point.
What? What?
They must have been smashing.
Man.
Now, am I the only one that noticed this? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say anything. I know people like to get all look into stuff. But am I the only one that knows that Meth had looked like he had been working out looking like he was getting ready for a Marvel movie or something?
Oh yeah, but he
looked like he was yoked up.
You haven't seen Meth has been on the cover of Men's Health magazine. He was on the cover talking about his diet and getting ready for everything. He was on the cover of Men's Health magazine, baby. I
was wondering. I was like, does this dude have a Marvel contract or going to DC or something? Because I was like, the last time I saw Meth, dude was like the last time I remember anything about Meth and his physicality was watching him on it was like a remake of the network. What was that, like the network something show? They have all the competitions with the Battle of the Network Stars. It was like one of those competitions. I remember watching this dude. He couldn't even bench press 135 pounds, and I was thinking like, damn, dude, 135 for real? I was like, that was the last time that I remember seeing anything about Meth where talking about anything physical or working out. So when I saw him this time, I was like, damn, dude's probably like 25 years older and looks like he's, like he should have looked when he was in his 20s.
Well, I mean, when you get older, you start trying to take care of your health more. And to look the way he looked, you ain't got to be able to bench no more than 135 pounds, as long as you eat a diet that's conducive for fat burning. But
dude had some bulk on him. He looked like he was yoked up a little bit. He looked strong.
The leaner you are, the bigger you look. Trust me, I've done competitions. And I look my biggest when I'm 195 versus I'm 230 and I'm benching 350. I look my biggest when all that goes down. But man, look, y'all is hitting me up with these super chats. I want to thank Steve. I want to thank Ricky.
I'm paying too much attention. See, in one moment, one breath, somebody's calling saying I'm a homophobe, and the next moment, someone's telling me I'm paying too much attention to somebody's body. See, you guys need to make up your mind. You need to make up your mind.
So let's get back to the mission. The mission we was talking about is, what is the connection to Meth McLean and Professor Montmegrum?
I think they were smashing.
Okay. And you think that's it? And you think that's it?
That's probably it. I mean, I don't see. I mean, there could be something more, but I think they were smashing. I mean, they've already alluded to the fact that she's a sex addict, so I would not be surprised if she smashed a whole lot of people, and we find out about it later. And each, as the stories go on, that she smashed a whole bunch of folks. So,
well, what do you think the situation is with Meth McLean and his wife?
I don't know what his wife looks like and how she acts and who she is, so it's hard to say. I mean, it's when you have someone like Paula, who's attractive and smart and interesting, I can only imagine that if you were married to someone who's not attractive and boring and sort of, a lot of guys when they have a lot of money and they're powerful, a lot of them just want a trophy wife. They want someone who's pretty, that they can take to dinner parties with them, and they look good on their arm, but they're not very interesting. Maybe they don't have much going on for themselves. And maybe as they get older, their looks fade. And so now they're left, but really nothing, because they don't really have much of a personality, because they've always depended on their looks, and they're not very interesting because, well, they've always depended on their looks. And so now they're just a non-attractive, older, blah human being, and you're married to her. And so now you have Paula, who's hot and interesting, and you work with her, so you're spending probably just as many, if not more, hours of the day with her than you are with your family. So it can be easy to slip into something, I think. So
and that's always a dangerous recipe. But first, I got to get into Trisha C. Man, I can't take this no more. You know what, Trisha C? You got some damn nerve. You Taylor Todd loving something. You gonna quit disrespecting Professor Megram. I'm gonna call her Montmegrum, in the way you disrespecting her. She is recovering. She is getting help. She is trying to turn the corner, and I'm not gonna let you keep disrespecting that woman like that. That is a professor of education. Okay, give her some time to get herself together. Talking about she giving them panty draws up to everybody. I'll be ashamed of yourself. Trisha
says maybe his wife is more powerful and influential than he is. She might be, but that's where I started off saying, I don't know who his wife is or what she does. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. It could be that she's more influential. Maybe she's always busy and doesn't have time for him.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Maybe that's what it is. Steve says Paula smashing wasn't needed. I have to disagree. With the exception of that whack-ass hand bra that she was wearing the whole time with the, I think that smash was definitely needed. This is power. This is the Stars Network. There needs to be at least a good smash scene in every episode of every show on this network. I think it's a prerequisite. I think the studio executives look at the scripts, and when the producers come to them, the executive producers at the network say, I don't see a smash scene. Take this back and rewrite it. And they come back with a smash scene, and they say, okay, good. It's greenlit. Go ahead and film.
Oh, my Lord. Larry, Trisha C done started something. So now Kendall Suggs wants to get all up in the conversations, talking about, wasn't she told by her sponsor advisor to stay away from Jabari? Well, yeah, She was trying to do that
Mhm.
until Jabari caught her on a snag and invited and got Lauren to invite her to that damn dinner. That ain't her
Yeah.
fault. That ain't her fault. If Larry could
And
ride
then
with the cricket
he
letter,
played her at the end. Though. He played
yeah,
her at
yeah,
the end when he said, "You're just mad. You're just mad at yourself." And she went and locked that door. Blink. And he reached out for her. She smacked his hand. Smacked his hand and said, "Oh, I'm going to give you these draws, but I'm going to give it. You're not going to take it. I'm going to give it."
Now, let me say this. Professor Montmegrum, if Larry had cricket letter last year, I'm going to ride you, Professor Montmegrum. I need you to make better decisions. Instead of locking that door, you should have walked on out and left. You know, I'm going to need you to make better decisions now because these people ain't going to let it live. I'm riding with you, Montmegrum, but you're going to have to fix this. You're going to have to do better. And
see, here's the difference between Professor Megrams and Crooked Letter. We were seeing Crooked Letter throughout this whole series start to make better decisions. And we were like, okay, she's building herself up. She's building her confidence up. She's preparing herself to make a really good decision and leave this dude. And then she just broke all of our hearts. Professor Megram, we know there's a whole book about her bad decisions. Her life is a bad decision at this point. So if she makes a good decision, everybody's going to be happy. Hercules, she finally made one, you know?
and I love how she just pretty much she didn't throw a double blind shade. She threw a quadruple blind shade on his damn second book that rich family he was trying to impress didn't even know it had dropped.
She gut punched him. She went straight Cobra Kai on him. No mercy. Yeah. What she said? She said, it came and went.
Came and went. And this Negro's supposed to be writing romantic novels. Boy, man. Larry, we got to finish this thing up, man. Before we get out of here, let's talk about
right quick.
Go ahead.
I know we've been talking about Professor Megram, but as men, can we give our respect, our proper due to Professor Jabari? Because is that brother not smashing like a hound dog?
Man.
That dude is getting it in. I mean,
bruh. And he wants some of Lauren panty draws too. But I don't think she budging.
He might just get him. But what I will say is so far is he is the one that's getting it.
You know what? Tariq might be the one to end Jabari's run on power if he continues to get in close with Megram, and if if Tariq feels that Jabari is causing harm to Lauren, possibly. You know,
Tariq didn't get anything. All Tariq got was a little lip gloss transfer. That's about it. That's all he has.
Hey, if the parents wouldn't have been in the living room, he might would have got more. You know, her pants already looked like they were 3 sizes too small. He might would have got more. Simple as that. Let's end on talking about Stern's little gay boyfriend that we predicted that too last year, Larry, when he got divorced from his wife.
I wasn't sure he was going to get married though. That was pretty quick.
It was quick. I think it's got to be an automatic that at some point in time the new husband is going to die, and at some point in time the new husband is going to drop the ball in this crime organization. Larry, how do you see him dropping the ball?
The husband?
Yep.
Oh, I think I don't think the husband knows the game. Not the same way that Stern does, and apparently not the same way that Tariq does. I think part of it is that dude's greedy. He's used to being around money and he's greedy. But I think that Tariq has grown up with money. Tariq has grown up watching the game, even though he didn't fully understand the game always, what was happening. And then he may have had the best teacher of everybody for the game, which was Kanan. And he's got his backup professor and his mom. His mom is like, if you're going to be in here, let me show you how to do it right. Because it was me and Kanan, who taught your dad how to do this. Well, he's already had Kanan, and now he's got his mom doing it. So, I mean, I think that between Stern knowing the high-end business side of stuff and Tariq knowing everything else, I think this dude's I think he might be the one that ends up dead this year. If anybody ends up dead, he might get caught trying to steal some money. And what's going to happen is Stern's going to find out that he was stealing from him, and Tariq's going to find out he was stealing from him, and Stern's going to just greenlight him. He's just going to be like, yeah, go ahead. Dude's got to go. I can't be married to a dude I can't trust, so he's got to go.
Well, I mean, for now, all he's doing is washing Tariq's money through some dirty LLC so that it can look legitimate.
Too much. I would not be at all surprised if he's, because Tariq already said they agreed on 5%, and then dude's taking 15. So Tariq's not going to let that stand. You don't get to take 3 times as much. You don't get to go from 5 to 15%. That's just. I think that I just think that that's going to come back.
It will,
and that's going to fight him.
And the theory of how that's going to work, you're hearing it here first, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to get out of here. That guy's going to stay alive washing that money until Tasha get out of jail. Then he's going to go, and Tasha is going to become Tariq's new washerwoman. And having said that, man, we out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We will pick up 30 minutes. And when I say 30 minutes, I mean 30 minutes only of More Power on Wednesday. We've got to talk about what's going to happen in this presidential debate. We'll do a little bit of that. And hopefully by then I will have had time to watch Lovecraft Country. We'll do a 10-minute review on that. I appreciate everybody for coming in, watching. And I miss giving you guys the opportunity of a visual thank you. So this is my visual thank you to everybody that super chatted. And then we'll get out of here.
I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate. I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Love of all inside of me. Yeah. Sexy chocolate. Sexy chocolate.
God damn, that boy can sing. You must be crazy. He good. You must be crazy.
And I know that was the look on some of y'all faces during that Drew scene, but for me, that's my way to tell y'all thank you for super chatting me up today, hitting us up, coming and showing us love. Please be sure to share our videos, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Larry, hit us both on Instagram. Yeah, go for it.
I just want to say one thing before we get out of here. I know some people get up there, and I say this in all seriousness, because I know some people get up there and think that when I say something about Drew or somebody that I must be a homophobe. I talk smack about everybody. I'm holding everybody to the same standard. And so just because I talk about someone who's gay does not make me a homophobe. It means that I may not like the way they're representing certain things. I talk about white people. I talk about black folks. I talk about women. I talk about men. I talk about Democrats, Republicans. I talk about everybody. If I don't like the way that I see something, then I'm going to call it out and I'm going to talk about it. It doesn't make me anti anything. I love my gay brothers and sisters just like I love my straight ones. So there it is. If you have issue with that, you just have issue with that. So, and beyond that, mask up and vote.
Yeah, well, he done too much, y'all. He didn't have to say that. Everybody that's been following us since we've been doing this live show since March when we started COVID, they know this man's position. They know it. But because we had so many in here tonight, I'm happy that he let y'all know where he stands. And you should just watch us more because we do bring it raw. And we are the dinner group. That's what we are. If they got the Breakfast Club, damn it, we the dinner group. And we bring it raw and live every Monday. Raw,
who's going to be the first one to get pregnant during this series? Oh, never mind. We'll save that for another week.
Yeah. We got to save something, man. We can't give them everything tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe. Hit us both on the gram. I do take some of you guys' theories from the gram and put them on YouTube. So, hit me up there. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, we'll see you.
Peace.